Hello beautiful people. Welcome to Gist Dish TV, your ultimate plug for trending entertainment updates, celebrity stories, Nollywood breakdowns, and real conversations that go beyond surface level noise. If this is your first time here, you are highly welcome. Please do not forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And to my returning subscribers, you already know you are the real MVPs. Thank you for always riding with us. Now let us settle in properly, because today's gist is not loud, not chaotic, and not driven by unnecessary drama. It is one of those stories that does not shout for attention but still manages to hold weight. A story about leadership, sacrifice, authority, family, timing, and the kind of wisdom that does not need explanation before it makes sense. This gist revolves around Mama Uchi Nancy, her daughters, family-owned platforms, and a decision that has quietly stirred deep conversations across Nollywood and online communities. When this situation first unfolded, many people rushed to social media with opinions. Some spoke from emotions, others from a business mindset, and some from pure assumptions without full context. Comment sections became divided. Some people praised the move. Others questioned it. A few tried to turn it into unnecessary rivalry. But the interesting part is this: while fans were arguing loudly, the people at the center of the story remained calm, silent, and focused. That alone should tell us something. So today on Gist Dish TV, we are not here to shout. We are not here to drag. We are not here to pit mother against daughter or sister against sister. We are here to break everything down clearly, respectfully, and honestly, using two major discussions that this situation has raised. And by the end of this gist, you can decide where you stand. Let us start with the foundation of the matter. Nolly Family TV is not just another random YouTube channel. It is a family platform that has been built over time with consistency, structure, and collective effort. Whether people like to argue about titles, percentages, or ownership documents is not the real issue. The simple truth is this: Mama Uchi Nancy has authority, influence, and a strong stake in that platform. Her voice carries weight. Her decisions matter. And her presence is deeply rooted in the identity of that channel. This is important to clarify because many online arguments have been based on the false assumption that Mama Uchi Nancy is just a passive participant or an outsider on the platform. That is far from reality. She is not just involved. She is integral. Now let us talk about what actually happened. Mama Uchi Nancy had already announced that her movie titled The Driver and Her Boss would be released on January 17th on Nolly Family TV. The teaser was out. The date was clearly stated. The cast was known. The audience was informed early. Everything was properly planned and set in motion. There was no confusion, no uncertainty, and no controversy at that stage. Fans were waiting and anticipation was already building. Then shortly after, Sonia Uche also made an announcement. Her own movie titled Colors of Trouble was scheduled to be released on the same January 17th, but on Sonia TV. At first glance, this did not look like a serious problem. After all, YouTube is a wide space, and multiple creators release content on the same day all the time. But this situation was different. The same release date. Very similar cast. The same core audience. The same family fan base. The same ecosystem of viewers who actively support Nollywood YouTube movies. That is when people began to pay attention. Conversation started quietly, then gradually grew louder. Some fans expressed concern that releasing both movies on the same day would split attention. Others worried about viewership performance. Some insisted that one movie should shift its date to avoid internal competition. Naturally, many people assumed that Sonia Uche would be the one to postpone her movie. But this is where context becomes important. Sonia Uche had already postponed Colors of Trouble once. The movie was initially scheduled to drop earlier in the week, but she moved it due to Nigeria's national circumstances. That alone was a thoughtful and strategic decision. Anyone who understands YouTube premieres knows that postponing a release is not a small thing. It affects momentum, audience excitement, and algorithm performance. Postponing once is understandable. Postponing twice can be risky. It can create doubt in the minds of viewers. Some fans might lose interest. Others might assume instability. And in the YouTube movie space, first releases of the year matter a lot because they set the tone for what follows. So expecting Sonia to shift her release date again was not as simple or harmless as some people made it seem. Then something unexpected happened. Mama Uchi Nancy quietly postponed her own movie. No pressure. No public dragging. No emotional video. No long explanations. No defensive statements. She simply released a calm and respectful announcement stating that The Driver and her boss would now premiere on January 21st due to unforeseen circumstances. That was all. And that single action sparked one of the biggest silent conversations Nollywood has seen in recent times. This brings us to the first major discussion. Sacrifice versus authority in family-owned platforms. Mama Uchi Nancy had the authority to go ahead with her release. She had the influence. She had the right. Everything was already arranged in her favor. Yet she chose to step back. Not because she was forced. Not because she was weak. But because she understood the bigger picture. This raises an important question. Is true leadership about exercising authority, or about knowing when to sacrifice personal advantage for collective growth? In many family-owned businesses, leadership often becomes a power struggle. Parents insist on control. Children fight for independence. Decisions turn into battles of ego. But what happened here showed a different approach. Mama Uchi Nancy did not use her authority to dominate. She used her wisdom to create balance. By postponing her movie, she allowed callers of trouble to breathe. She removed unnecessary competition. She protected her daughter's momentum. And she preserved peace within the family brand. Some people argue that leaders should always stand firm and prioritize business strategy above all else. Others believe that leadership without empathy eventually collapses. This situation forces us to ask ourselves where the line should be drawn. Should leaders in family-owned platforms always put family first, even when business strategy might favor standing their ground? Or is this kind of sacrifice what sustains long-term success? Now let us move to the second major discussion. Was this decision driven by emotional motherhood or strategic wisdom? Many people immediately labeled Mama Uchi Nancy's action as pure motherhood. A mother protecting her child. A mother stepping aside to let her daughter shine. And there is truth in that. Motherhood is not just about giving birth. It is about knowing when to lead and when to step back. But others see the decision differently. They argue that this was a calculated, strategic move. Avoiding internal competition. Protecting the family brand. Ensuring that both movies get their moment without splitting attention. Preserving audience goodwill. Maintaining unity in the public eye. And honestly, both perspectives can coexist. Emotional intelligence and strategic thinking are not enemies. In fact, the strongest leaders often combine both. Mama Uchi Nancy did not make noise. She did not seek praise. She did not turn the situation into content. Her silence itself was a statement. This leads to another important question. If the roles were reversed, would the same decision have been made? Would a daughter postpone her movie for her mother under similar circumstances? Or does wisdom often flow more easily from experience than from ambition? These are not questions meant to cause division. They are questions meant to provoke thought. Now let us be very clear so nobody twists this gist. Mama Uchi Nancy postponing her movie does not mean her project is less important. It does not mean she lacked confidence in her work. It does not mean she was afraid of competition. It simply means she understands timing, structure, and long-term impact. The Driver and her boss did not lose value because of a new release date. If anything, anticipation has increased. Sometimes stepping back briefly allows the spotlight to shine even brighter when you return. As for callers of trouble, this is not the time for comparisons or unnecessary arguments. This is the time for support. The foundation has already been laid. The rest depends on the audience. If you have watched the movie once, watch it again. If you enjoyed it, share the link. Drop constructive comments. Support the effort. Strong opening numbers matter, especially for earlier releases. And when January 21st comes and the driver and her boss drops on Nolly Family TV, the same energy should be returned. Support should be balanced. That is how family ecosystems thrive. This entire situation teaches a powerful lesson. Sometimes the stronger statements are made without words. Sometimes leadership is quiet. Sometimes sacrifice is strategic. And sometimes wisdom does not need validation from social media to be effective. Mama Uchi Nancy did not explain herself endlessly. She did not argue with fans. She did not defend her choice. Her action spoke louder than any speech could. So now, we turn it over to you. Do you think Mama Uchi Nancy made the right decision? Do you believe true leadership is about authority or sacrifice? Was this move driven more by motherhood or long-term strategy? And what does this situation teach us about family, power, and unity in the entertainment industry? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let us discuss respectfully. If you enjoyed this gist, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to Gist Dish TV for more insightful breakdowns, trending stories, and calm but deep conversations that actually make sense. From us to you, it is peace, clarity, and positive vibes always. See you in the next gist.